100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today, it ain't my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down. It's Taylor. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mariota. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mike, let's get off the field, D.
They'll run on first down. Taylor. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Mariota to throw it. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mariota now. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. From 13 yards out. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Come on, set. 30 base. Right here. Let's go, D. Go.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Right there. 50. It's out of time. It's out of time.
They'll look to throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Schwartz. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Running with Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
4-yard pickup on the play. First down, Dallas.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Yep.
3 out. Out. 5-2 is the mic. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2.
Go.
They're going to look to throw. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. A couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Down. 18 Gator.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Let's go.
Here's Elliott. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. After 1, 7-0. On EA Sports.
Come on now, let's go.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate Dalvin alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Mariota, flushed out right. He gets it to Humphries. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. It's just taken around the 12. Powers through. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find Isabella. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Past the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he rolled down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
54. Mike, 54. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Taking it in from 2 yards out as they are now on the board here in the first half. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Point after, up and good. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we are tied at 7. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Mariota. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Their mobile quarterback keeping it himself from 8 yards out. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
70, Indy.
2nd and 9 now. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Elliott. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And this one is right down the middle. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a 1st down. First down, Mariota. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the 1st half.
A game of 18 on the play. 1st down, Dallas.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike.
Now back to throw. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
incomplete. Intended for Equinemius St. Brown. It's now 2nd and 10.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
No gain on this defense, no gain. 6 guys, check 6 guys. Take go.
They'll throw now on the final play. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Brought down back at the 31-yard line.
2nd and 13. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Schwartz. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Yeah.
Back to the Mike. Back to the Mike.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely online. It just needs a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. picked up by Josh Jones. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things.
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go to Elliott again. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Washington on 3rd and short. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. Back now in Nashville. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got the hook up to Moore.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The Titans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, it's Mariota. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jalen Smith providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. The Titans go. It's Mariota. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down.
You ready? I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Get it.
On first down, Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey. 52's the mic.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Let's get off the field.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Mariota now to throw on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
15 lines. 15 lines. They're not ready for this. They still playing soft. Y'all playing defense.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Titans on the Ringo. You got 3 down. Ready to go. Line 52.
Gets this to Isabella on the jet sweep. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Again, it's Elliott. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down, right around the 17. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
So you wonder what's going on in that head right about now. That's 2 missed field goals for him now, and this one should have been no problem.
For an NFL kicker, you're thinking 97, 98% from this distance, and this one somehow fails to go through. And that's 3 points you just absolutely have to count on getting.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for Dallas, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.